What does it mean, and why does it mean what it means? What does it mean, and why does it mean what it means? This particular question has been dawning on man's stupid little migraine, little cranium for years, for decades, for eons. Why is it what it is? What be what it is? What be what it is? Why be it what it be? I don't know, right? And then I'm like, oh no. Oh no, what's a poor boy supposed to do? So that's what I was thinking, right? I was thinking a few things, right? Like, okay, so tasteless opinion writes in the chat, what the fuck is this? And I thought, okay, what is this in fact? This is a series of discontents. I'm rubbing my discontent ball. Here's my discontent ball. Let me rub it. Discontent, discontent. Oh, what do you have? Look at that beautiful reflection. That beautiful reflection right there of discontent. Oh, what does it say? Oh, mwah, mwah, my little hand. Oh, little discontents. Yada, yada. And then I'm like, oh, fuck. Go ahead and unfold your discontent. Anyway, the whole point is this. It's not all about discontent. It's about contents. But it's about manifold. It's about doing the wrong thing that isn't quite wrong, but it's wrong enough. So, anyway, moral of the story is A, be explicit. The universe seems to want explicitness. B, don't imply anything. Imply nothing. Okay, so go ahead, unfold your discontent. Who are you? Do we know each other? Tasteless Opinion happens to be in Discord under the name Tasteless Opinion, perhaps. Or just Tasteless. Anyway, and it's very soft. It's very mercurial. Yet it's very Arab and English and Muslim and this way and that and generalizing. And he can't parse out the difference between phenomenology and ontology. He's dense in aspect recognition as the Western canons unfolded. Can I say that? Oh, what is your Discord name? Oh, now you want to know my Discord name. Very, very interesting. Now you want to know my Discord name. Anyway, Bloody Marys were a bit of a problem because A, Super Grace. Super Grace. You want to know what Super Grace is? Let me tell you. Super Grace is where it's not just Grace. It's not a person named Grace. It's Super Grace is where you've recommitted your greatest offenses. You recriminate them, and it's still all right. God seemingly had forgiven you of your first transgressions and infinite transgressions beyond. It was like a forgiveness of being in the Calvinistic sense via the radio. What does Tesla say? Bloody Mary, isn't that an analogy for a girl named Mary who was on her period? That's disgusting. And earlier today, I was like, God, okay, Bloody Mary, Mary, Mother of God, and before she had and after she had Jesus, she had her periods. Oh my God, and we're drinking a Bloody Mary with vodka, and it's all bloody. And they're like, what happens if she was just cut up? Or what happens if it had nothing to do with periods and Bloody Mary, and Mary and bloody and blood, and Mary, Mary, Mary. And in any case, I was left at not quite knowing how to pull apart that particular portion of what seemed a very branched out and layered a conifer treeism of all conifers laid together. You had to rub their soft pine leaves, very micro at a distance before you even came close to the stems of conifers, before you found out the roots of conifers.
No, you're a very funny dude. Kiki, I think you're so funny. I'm like here laughing. Kiki, I think it's hilarious. LMAO, laughing my fucking whatever the fuck fat ass that's off. I think it's hilarious, and I've never known nothing to be anything other than just exactly like what it is. Therefore, I'm in.
Anyway, so okay, finally he catches on. Oh, I know who you are. You're lucky me on Discord. Oh, great. Just because I'm lucky me means that I'm lucky and I'm me and I'm lucky me. It is a fact. Otherwise, I couldn't get away with this particular goatee cut. Nice. I am more interested in lucky me. Anyway, so okay. So my mom was just recently, she's still alive, so both my parents are alive. And not only is there news about space policemen that are being hired and budgeted for, I guess, in Congress, or something on the table is there, but my 73 and 75-year-old parents are having complications sometimes. And I'm glad that a certain complication didn't become something critical and absurd. Like, I'm really glad it didn't become that. Because I prize the uniformity of nature when it form fits to relational constants. Although I'm upset that my current roommates are upset that I recorded them in a legal yet non-legal. Like, they should have been more explicit in the contract about recording them. I went for inference, they went for facts. I end up having to delete it because, I'm in the wrong, I guess. And it's almost in the lease. Like, hey, you have to mention this shit. But so is cleaning up after oneself. I don't know. These are absurdities in lease law. So symbolically, though, a Bloody Mary is also like antithetical to Christendom, that you're bloodifying the Mother of God in any capacity. Well, it's like Christ is an abortion, you Bloody Mary. How dare you drink God made wine, not vodka with your Bloody Mary? What is this about, right? Oh my God, tasteless. Just give up, man. I mean, give up. Honestly, just give up. Like, whatever your internal center is, just give it up, please. Please get to the big grand internal jihad and give up one center for the greater good. Realize that other people's opinions about knowledge and the case and the way it is and how things are formatted and how things are analytically conditional are most appropriated. And oh, you gave up. Fine, you gave up. Anyway, I don't think that you did. I don't think that you didn't. I think that you did, and that you didn't in different ways than I gave up. But you gave up in all the ways that you needed to give up in, and anyway, moral of this story is Tasteless has not an abduction, an abductive approach towards awareness, such that knowledge and belief yield within abductivism. He has a preference for abductivism, which I believe is part of the phenomenological domain as opposed to the epistemological preference domain of most analytics in the West. I don't agree with the conclusions that any Muslim or Mormon or Catholic, I don't agree that those conclusions should be granted over any credence. As a matter of fact, I'm very upset that any particular religion preferences itself beyond the individual's expression outward. I mean, if they're too dense to see the polygon, the mix paradigms, it's my fault. But those who can see the polygon can see the differences. To those I speak. Anyway, the whole point is diplomacy. Things are going to get rough. You got to find the center. You got to find the periphery and then pull the periphery into the center. Can't do it prematurely. You have to do it with all existing centers that you're able to witness. And that means every interlocutor. You can't leave, no man gets left behind. Therefore, you must empathize with every person, even if you're antagonizing them at first in order to draw them in. It's a weaker fish in your net. These are congruences. It seems to be the case. I don't want to talk about it in an absurd way. Look, and when I say absurd, what I mean is the current future recording about troop movement in the U.S. And by troops, I mean people, and by people, I mean civilians, and by civilians, I mean citizens. The left is fabulous. God, it's doing such a great job. I would not want to defame what its possible efforts are actually accomplishing. I really wouldn't. Like, those are too extra profound. On the right, though, the right's job is to reorient the left before the left completes its mission. The left is definitely completing its fucking mission. I feel a little upset to say that. I do. I feel a little upset to say that. There does seem as if there's an analog to purities of freedom that occur on the left. And by purities of freedom, I mean a deculturization from that which is conservatively held. It's an acceptance of all that is new and changing and astatic and mutable, morphific. It will morph, and it's ific of the morphing. Nonetheless, they've still done a travesty in the minds, the coherent held paradigms of the cohorts. And there's nothing to do about it other than to apologize and sympathize and reiterate that everything will be okay. I can't. I don't like the ideological spirit of following those who've had supernatural experience, as opposed to clinging on to, if you have had supernatural experience, your supernatural experience. If you haven't had supernatural experience, then it's okay to cling on to, but your reasons to cling on to are not very well founded. And as much as I might cling on to things because I've had supernatural experience, does not mean that anything from Muhammad or anything from Joseph Smith or anything from anybody else, Moses or anyone else has claimed supernatural experience, that you should follow their particular assessment. If you can't recognize your matrix and you don't know what the matrix is yielding, and the matrix isn't yielding things specific and discrete and outside of the boundaries of methodological naturalism, as we philosophically call it in 2018 in the last several decades, right? If something falls outside of methodological naturalism that you would call supernatural, then you're in a different class of cases. You're not utilizing exegesis or eisegesis, your projection or extraction from text, irrespectively, right? You're not doing that. What in fact you are doing, unfortunately, is you're believing that you're not doing that and you're doing that, meaning that you're extracting the general covalent sets, and by covalence meaning it hasn't gone into question in that level of your being's mind yet. And so you just accept it as okay. And then you carry on. That's okay. I mean, look at the bottom of this glass hitting my wrist at that line. See that cutter's line right there? You see that? There? I don't know, man. Like, palms are amazing. Okay? Palms are amazing. All I know is I've moved through time so differently than so many of you, and I wish you all the well, and I don't know what averages everything out, and I don't know all the correct solutions to everything, but I yearn to aim towards what I think is most idyllic. Only Tasteless is watching. Look, choreographing a future authority is no problem. Getting beyond the choreograph of a future authority is both an amazing event and an accepting a submissive posture and an amazing event of understanding. Look, Devil's Tower is America's first national monument in Wyoming. It's America's first, right? Now, every major city has a Devil's Kitchen. Every major mountain range in terms of, what do you call it? National monument. Every national monument, many national monuments have a Devil's Kitchen that arrives at the end of, just like East, South Side, Devil's Kitchen. You want to fuck around, right? You're a white devil. And the black devils want to believe that they are not devils as they're hunting. Slow hunt. It's a sloth hunt, and they don't mind the hunt. Because really it's a breed out, man. It's a takedown. It's just this long Babylon. Anyway, the whole point is this. You're gonna fuck who you're gonna fuck. You're gonna have kids with who you're gonna have kids with. And if you don't, you don't. If you do, you do. If you did, you did. And if you didn't, you fucking didn't. So your ideology really doesn't give shit. Your allele preference. Words are bullshit, actions are truth. Words are bullshit, actions are truth. Right, that's from Tracy Kirkham. Words are bullshit, actions are truth. Come on, think about it, right? You can talk all you want, you can type whatever you fucking want. You can type it. Doesn't mean it's the case. What's the case is how you drag that carcass through time called your body. That body yields. That's what's true. Oh, does it yield all this art? Oh, that's really amazing. Is that what God means? And I saw you in the book of life. Let me open this book up and see. Are you in the book of life? Did you have life? Are you of life? Are you for life? Are you pro-life? No? You're anti-natalist, you piece of shit? You go to hell. Thank you very much. Amen. Oh, no, you're in the book of life. We'll save you because, amen. And blah, blah, blah. And blah, blah, blah. Let me tell you about the book of life. Anyway, so something distractive about the Quran was the black face and white face that appears at the end. This is very disturbing, and I'll tell you why. A, I'm recriminating. B, if one recriminates, does that mean they haven't committed the crime in the first place? What do we have here? Overthinking is the problem. Eyes comes moment when you have to just audit or act and stop thinking or everything. Look, I don't need your bullshit recommendations. I really don't. I don't need your bullshit, which may be powerful recommendations. I don't need them, but I could use them. But I don't need them. Okay. So here's the big scream, right? I have to allow every statement that is ever posed to me as a profitable statement, right? And then you gauge social input in terms of negative and positive based on social feedback. But you gauge this in a lot of ways. And then you don't really know that you should believe what you are believing about what it is you're believing. I mean, I think I'm more potent and important than people with more than 500,000, 2 million subscribers. Like, I believe I am that important of a personality. Is that absurd? Is that insane? Is that obscure? Anyway, I'm going to go drink, and I'm going to go pour another Bloody Mary. Why Bloody Mary? Because a Bloody Mary means the blood of the Mary that birthed Christ, the abortion of Christ, Christ the abortion, non-Christ the abortion, Bloody Mary, Mary as Bloody Mary, as bleeding Mary, as anything that is bloody, that you could even intuit there might be a negative connotation to the very term Bloody Mary, of vodka, cucumber, tomato, garlic, and etc. drink. Anyway, I just got off the phone with this guy, Scott. I'll call him Asa for the fuck of it. Anyway, the point is, I was telling him all about blah, 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 and he was telling me all about blah, 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 blah. And I've known the guy for a while. I'm like, Jesus Christ out loud, did you really go for the blah, blah, and not the blah, 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 blah? He's like, no, dude, I went for the blah, blah. I'm like, God, you went for just the blah, blah. Titos, because I dig tits. Tits and O's and O-y tits. Now, I'm going to... It's really stupid, I gotta admit. I'm not part retard, right? I'm part retard. I have to just admit it. Now this goes in here. And this goes right there. And then, here, check this out. Look at this fabulous belly attached to this fabulous god, right? Say this god comes over with his favorite. He grabs his god ice, and this god ice. That is good ice. I like good ice, and I like to pour it in the drinks. Voila! Mamma mia, that's Italian. That's a mozzarella and yada. Anyway, so, and then, see, Bloody Mary. Bloody fucking Mary. Oh my God. I feel like a bad man. But look at all this. You fill that up all the way to the brim. Boom. Then the whole idea, you back up and you tell the Bloody Mary story again and again. I know there's only one of you watching. Here I go. Look, contradictions are true. And the reason you know a contradiction is true is because you didn't think of the exception in the first place. In the second place, a contradiction is true because it fulfills everything that you fucking didn't think about because you're too fucking stupid to fucking know that you could have thought about something that you didn't think about. In any case, you always hope for the most preferable decisions when the shoe drops, the axe falls, the end of the rope, people show up in your life, right? You hope for the best. Look, there's a lot of very smart, very high IQ individuals that may like throw out a lot of puffery and a lot of nonsense about this and that and that and this, and they might index that and this, and they might think that their particular brain function and capacity is like at this over-bloated state such that they're like encompassing what they believe to be a lesser state. But that lesser particular state, if they don't migrate through a dumbing down to their opinion, then really they haven't considered any of their fucking opinion. And then hence, fuck them, they're full of shit, they're narcissistic, and they're caught up in their whatever ideology. It's a goddamn shame is what it is. And I'll tell you why it's a goddamn shame. Just after these moments. So look, if you have eisegesis to text or exegesis, fuck you. Fuck you. You don't know what the fuck you're fucking talking about. How about this hand? How about fuck you, you don't know what the fuck you're talking about. So fuck that is fuck you. If you think that you believe what you think and that what you think is inalterable, if you think what you think is inalterable, it's a damn shame is what it is. And I'll tell you why. Because the God of gods and plurality and infinite universality and infinite lexicon readjustments would suggest fuck you, because fuck you, A, number one, fuck you, prima. Number B, A1, or just B1 is hey, think about it from this other vantage point because, fuck you. It's a tasteless, I don't know what the fuck you got going on. I am not reading what you're typing, not picking up what you're laying down, but I'm not saying you're not onto it. I'm just saying you're obviously, A, not catching on to it. B, you're not very Western formalized, and a lot of these people are within the Western canon, and they're formalized within the Western canon. So your abductive awareness of things trying to be supplemented into a deductive category when you're stemming from a phenomenology, arguably, but you don't know you're doing it because you can't parse out the difference between ontology or amongst. I'll use the word amongst for plurals, ontology, phenomenology, and epistemology, and that your notion of awareness comes from epistemology, epistemal phenomenology, right? You're not an ontologist. You're not talking about what is. You're talking about the meanings of what the fuck is. I think you were doing that. Maybe I am way off. But moral of the story is I think that's where you're coming from. In other words, I think you're using abduction as a supplement to epistemological induction. I think you're guilty of doing that, and you don't know how to parse it out in terms of their lexicon because English isn't your fucking first language. Motherfucker, English isn't your motherfucking first language. How fucking dare you? Jesus H. Criminy with a Christ-like stick in it and something else and yada.